This is the Art Marketing Minute with Eric Rhodes, author of the Amazon best-selling book, Make More Money Selling Your Art. In the Marketing Minute, we answer your questions to help your art career. Brought to you by artmarketing.com, the place to go to learn more about marketing. Now, here's your host, Art Magazine publisher, Eric Rhodes.
Thank you, Jim Kipping, and thank you for joining us today. I am here. My goal is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist. So let's get right to today's questions. Here's a question from Kathy Ringenberger in Indianapolis, who asks, is it a good idea to list your prices on your website for your paintings or on your social media? And if so, why or why not? I've always wondered this because if people don't see the price, how are they supposed to know how much it is? And some artists don't do it, some do it. So what's the right way? I don't think I can say there's a right way or a wrong way, Kathy. I think that the way to say it is you got to make your choices. Now, I will tell you a story. A dealer friend of mine I'll just say in Texas, was having this great debate about whether or not he should put prices on his website because no dealers were doing that at the time. This is a few years back. And I said, I think you should. I would put my prices on there because the internet is all about instant gratification. And if I am in another country or if I'm sitting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I browse around, I see something, I want to be able to buy it. I don't want to have to pick up the phone and call you. And his argument was, yeah, but if I get them on the phone, I can talk to them and talk them through it and help sell them. And my argument was, yeah, but you might not get them on the phone. Most people don't want to get on the phone anymore, and some will, some won't. But you need to be able to sell it anyway. So he took a chance on it. He did an experiment, and he put his prices on the website. Right away, I just felt so totally vindicated here, right? So right away, he gets an order that came in at like 4 o'clock in the morning, just like I said it would happen. It was from some foreign country, and the order was for, get this, $650,000 for a big piece of sculpture. This was a top-tier gallery, $650,000. Now, when he arrived the next morning, he had a wire transfer for the money in his bank account. And he was able to confirm it and be able to send the sculpture and pack it up and send it to wherever it was, Brazil or something, I think. And so from that point forward, he always put his prices on his website. Now, some dealers still don't do it. Some artists don't do it. I think it's debatable, but I think, in this culture, I mean, we're going on Amazon and we're shopping for things. We want to be able to have instant gratification. And I think that art really is the same way. And so I would do it. That's what I think is the proper way to do it. And you also can have opportunities to upsell for framing or pick a different frame or things like that. Most of the website providers provide things like that now. So I think it's a really good idea. Again, it's debatable, but I think it's worth a try. And if you have a reason why it's a bad idea, let me know. I'd like to hear it. Next question comes from Randy in New York City, or Randall, who says, it seems that the best artists rise to the top and are working, and that working on your art and getting to the highest possible level of development is the most important thing to become famous. Would you agree? Well, I think there's a couple of things in here. First off, this sounds like a trick question. I know it's not, Randall, but the famous, what's more important? Is it more important to be famous, or is it more important to be successful? Is fame successful? You can be famous and not make any money. Is that what you want? Do you want to be famous and successful financially? You got to figure out what you want. But here's the problem. It seems like it should be the case. I mean, you would think that the universe would do that. You spend your life working on your work, you get really good at it, and you put it out there, and then it just automatically gets recognized. And that happens sometimes. I mean, people do get discovered. They do get recognized from the quality of their work. And clearly, quality tends to rise to the top and gets the higher prices. But if you don't put it out there, sometimes it's not going to be seen. What if you don't get discovered? What if you don't get a gallery? What if you don't find an agent? What if you don't get seen? I have seen so many instances and learned about so many people throughout my career of people who are brilliant painters who have never been discovered. I had an opportunity. I was asked to come to England to try and talk a particular painter into getting out there and going into the market, and because he was so shy, he didn't want to do it. And it was a brilliant artist, and he wouldn't even sell his work. And in his particular case, he just didn't want to do it. But there have been so many instances of people who wanted to do it, but they didn't. They just never got anybody interested in them. So I think the thing is that selling your work is a lifetime effort. As long as you're going to be selling your work, you're going to have to be somewhat assertive. Some would say aggressive. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. I mean, let's say you're at a cocktail party and you meet an art dealer, and you're so shy that you won't even say, "Hey, I'm an artist, and I'd like you to look at my work." Well, first off, art dealers get that so many times they may not pay attention to it. But they also might say, yeah, I would like to look at your work, but some people are so shy. Marketing is sometimes just a matter of raising your hand and telling people what you're up to. It doesn't have to be anything beyond that. But a lot of people think marketing is something they don't need to do. They don't need marketing skills. They think marketing is crass for some reason, but some have been lucky and gotten out there, some have not. So I would say that you've got to be really sensitive to the idea that learning marketing is important. Let's say this. I think a great thing for an artist is to eventually get a 2 or 3 great galleries, maybe more, or to get a great handler, maybe somebody to work for you, maybe somebody to be your agent. But, the reality is that usually you have to do some marketing and build some awareness before somebody wants to do it. It's like galleries want to go after successful people. They want proven people. Sometimes they're not willing to take the risk. And so you got to get out there. So learning and discovering marketing, go to artmarketing.com, check it out, see if you can find some things that might be of value to you. I think you might find it to be helpful. Anyway, I think that's the answer. Well, this has been the Art Marketing Minute with me, Eric Rhodes. My goal in life is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist and to help your dreams actually come true. So if you want to submit questions, simply email eric@artmarketing.com. And to learn more about marketing ideas, you can visit artmarketing.com. Thanks for listening.